Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be bringing you 5 short spooky reads for Halloween. Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. And today it is Halloween, so I thought that I would recommend to you 5 short spooky reads that you can actually get through probably in a day for most of these. Some are even short stories, perfect for spooky season, and I was inspired to do this video because I have read one spooky read this spooky season so far, and I have got one on the go that I'm reading with Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes and Art from Bookshelf Odyssey. So the one that I've already read was a present from Charlie at Charlie Brook, and it's called Lot Number 249 by Arthur Conan Doyle, and this is a short story about a supernatural Egyptian mummy. So yeah, that was a spooky read for sure and did have me on the edge of my seat in places. And I'm currently reading with Mitzi and Art and should be reading the final chapters today on the day this goes out. If I've already read those final chapters, I've accidentally gone ahead. So I'm going to try not to do that so that I can finish it on Halloween. But we're reading Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury, and this has been perfect. It's so creepy. It's just full of suspense and I would highly recommend this. But I have 5 more reads to bring you today, so let's get on with the 5. I'm going to keep it brief. Some of these I haven't read for a while, but I would highly recommend them as being spooky reads. The first one is one of the longer books on the list, but it still comes in at under 200 pages in most editions, and we're looking at sort of between 180 and 200 pages depending on which edition you have. But this is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill in the number 5 spot. This is the one I read longest ago, which is why it's not higher up on my list of 5. This was published in 1983. I think you will like this story if you like fog, if you like creepy vibes, if you like ghost stories. It involves the English moors. It is a really chilling story, and it involves a mysterious apparition which haunts a town. This book has just so much atmosphere, and I would highly recommend it for an autumn night's reading. So second up is a book that is actually kind of classified as a children's book, but if you like scary books that will unnerve you somewhat, definitely read this book that I read earlier this year, which is Coraline by Neil Gaiman in the number 4 spooky read position. This is a mere 176 pages and it's a very dread-inducing tale involving a locked door. Why do characters in horror stories always open the locked door? Because it makes for great spooky stories, of course. Coraline is drawn to a locked door in her apartment, and this is a deeply unsettling book. I highly recommend the audio read by Neil Gaiman himself, but I give you the caveat on this that you should not read this audiobook in bed because it has some very terrifying music that kicks in some parts of this book. I did not know it had this terrifying music when I was listening to it in bed until it made me jump out of my skin by playing freaky music. So yes, Coraline is my second suggestion for a spooky Halloween read. In at number 3 is the very shortest read on this list, and this is a short story written by none other than Ray Bradbury, who is an absolute master of sort of suspense, twists and just scary stories, really. This is only 9 pages long, so if you're looking for something to pick up today, I highly recommend it. The Emissary by Ray Bradbury was first published in his collection Dark Carnival, and then it was published again in the October Country. I actually read it in a book at my mum's house, which was a collection of short stories about dogs. I think it's called Dog Stories, and I'll try and place a picture of it here. This is set around Halloween. October and Halloween were known to be absolute favourite times of year for Ray Bradbury the writer. This story centres around a young boy who is ill in bed and his friend dog. Literally any more, because this is only 9 pages, would spoil this story. So all I can say is read this one for sure. It will leave you feeling thoroughly unnerved. In at number 2 on my spooky reads is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I've only read 2 of Shirley Jackson's books, but I already know that I think she is absolutely amazing. This one clocks in at 182 pages, so it's getting close to being the longest on the list. In this book, Shirley Jackson takes the spooky haunted house concept and she adds psychology, she adds doctors who study the occult, and she adds a small group of guests and she runs with it. It's very unsettling, it's very strange, and I would highly, highly recommend you add it to your autumn reading list. And in at number 1, the only book I actually own a copy of out of those ones, and that is The Signalman by Charles Dickens. As you can see, my copy is absolutely tiny. In comparison to a normal book, it is small. And even with these small size pages, it only has 30 of them, so it's a short story. And The Signalman by Charles Dickens is just so atmospheric as well. This is a really well set out ghost story, probably my favourite ghost story that I have ever read. I actually found this to be spine tingling, and I don't think I can say that of many other things that I have read. Again, it's very easy to spoil a book that only has 30 pages, so get yourself a copy of The Signalman, settle down with a nice hot drink and a blanket, and enjoy this one on a spooky evening. So this concludes 5 of my favourite short spooky reads for Halloween. I thought I would keep it short today. I do hope you've enjoyed this video today, and if you have, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. Yeah, do comment in the description down below. I always love to hear spooky recommendations for unsettling tales to read in the autumn, so do let me know all of those in the comments down below. And I will hope very much to see you all again soon in another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now, and if you celebrate it, happy Halloween!